Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Let's go. Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's all up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit and I plan, and I found out that I can execute if I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom. Read some books, something written, watch the best, teach a system I invest. Never hidden, I ain't scared, ain't no chicken, I take dares. I'll be winning, you get back what you're giving. Find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been missing. Yeah. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Welcome to the Party Pals GRC Mafia. So right out of the gate, we're here to break down barriers, foster collaboration and community, working towards a more secure future for everybody. This is our quarterly review and discussion and so forth. So we will have an open stage. I'm going to go through a few different slides for the information. If you guys have questions throughout, definitely drop that in chat. We'll be marking that along the way. But then also we'll open up the stage and go over the questions and further discussions and everything else as well. And another large focus of this too is not only for transparency and so forth, community built, community driven, but then also to see what everybody else thinks, get your guys' feedback and so forth as well. If you guys do come up on stage, you do not have to turn on your video. You could just run mic only if you prefer to, but it allows you to join the conversation directly. I personally don't like, I type enough already, so it's way easier coming up even if it's mic only. But you guys can still drop that in there as well. Check out the Discord server for the live chat channel. We are not doing the weekly badge. That's on Thursdays, but you can also introduce yourself, socialize. That's a great spot outside of the outside of the live streams themselves. You could drop your social links and so forth in our intro and socials channel, and so much more outside of the streams themselves. Definitely ask questions, share resources, exactly like our other things. What are you guys working on? What have you guys found and so forth? There's so much out there, so sharing that kind of information is great. Don't share anything you don't want to be public. Definitely a live stream on the internet. If you happen to do so, reach out to me on Discord, LinkedIn, or contact at studygrc.org. And then also, of course, B-dubs too. And then I'm going to go ahead and transition over here in just a second, but I do typically throw out our website and our resources page as well. And then also to call out some of the different individuals, GRC Mafia. We got Rania, we got David B. I saw Cam in there. I saw Brenda, few other people there as well. Regine, Evans popped in. So yeah, welcome to the Party Pals. All right, let's go ahead and knock these slides out. All right, so we're going to cover some of the objectives, mission and so forth, financial disclosure, which I've discussed it a little bit before, but we've never done anything more official, shiny charts and infographics. And then also move into some of the different offerings and the stuff that we do bring to the table and new additions as well. And then that will turn into the open stage Q&A and so forth. So right out the gate, like we typically start every single stream, breaking down barriers, fostering collaboration and community, and really trying to look through the smoke and so forth. So that's one of the biggest things is that I didn't find anything like this. And then myself and small group, really, made Study GRC what it is. And then it's just grown from there from this point. So that's where the community built, community driven comes in. and breaking down barriers. There's so much information out there, but there's also a lot of like paid paywalls, and you only have so much time in the day and so forth. So what do you need to work on? Getting other perspectives and community and so forth. And that collaboration aspect as well is really important, especially in this job market. Like networking is a massive portion of that. And also like-minded people, like, my everyday people that I know, they don't want to talk GRC. So who do I have to talk to other than GRC Mafia about that? Advocating for free and low cost alternatives. That's one of the big factors, to make it more accessible. Now, this is the existing rough overview. Let me go ahead and take this Discord portion down. Welcome, ZMF. Priceless Pancakes, Space Tacos, AB Showtime, GRC Mafia. So a rough overview of the existing expenses. So this is mostly based off of this last quarter for quarter 2. And then there's also the total for the all expenses quarter 2. The main reason why I want to present this information, especially more clearly, is just so that way there's that level of transparency there. So like I've said before, I don't want anybody to feel obligated or otherwise, but it does have a direct cost and so forth. And regardless whether you guys are paid members, donate, anything like that, nothing else is going to change. We're still going to operate the way we are. The main benefit that it provides is it allows us to do more, which you'll also see some of that here in just a moment with some of the new additions. So then what we're basically looking at, we talked at the last quarter, state of Study GRC about sponsorships and so forth. So really, we're looking at taking a completely different angle from this perspective, from that perspective at this time. So like we've kind of, dipped our toes in the water for sponsorships and so forth. And quite frankly, like, especially considering our annual expenses are so low in comparison, we don't really have to. So yeah, the more money we have, the more that we can do for the community, because it 100% goes to support the community. But if we don't have to do sponsorships, if we don't have to play ad roles, if we don't have to, go through and do demo videos and stuff and things like that, then why would we? At this current point in time, like already looking at the ad revenue just from YouTube alone, which I think there's a breakdown on. Was it this one or the previous one? Yeah, so let me go back to this one. So you can see here $103 in donations. In quarter 2, we had $284 in YouTube earnings. We did have $48 in merch profit, but we gave away $280 worth of merch as well. So that was some of the different, this isn't just expenses here. This is also the profit portion. And I can throw these slides in separately to the Discord server as well. But so my point being is that we're not 100% dependent on the ad revenue at this time, but a year from now, I could see that happening. So it could range anywhere from like 50 to 80 bucks a month or so. And so, it just keeps going up every single month. So that's what I'm really kind of angling towards, is if we could just run it off of ad revenue and donation base, then that would be a much better option than signing some deal with a vendor or some sponsor itself. And so this portion here, so about $2,900 is what the operating expense for this portion is. It's definitely going to fluctuate. These aren't exact numbers, but it's a very close estimate for it. QuickBooks, the annual CPA, the editing software, streaming software. We have a couple other platforms here too, like Newsfeed and Gamma and Proton for email, Discord, the domain names. Yeah. And I see VDubs' message right here too. No ad rolls, free for everyone. Because that's the whole objective of this, is we're not doing this for profit whatsoever, and we never will. It's embedded in our bylaws against that. We want freely accessible and more accessible information and knowledge sharing out there to knock down the silos and so forth. So yeah, if we can just run it off of ad revenue, it would be way better. And that seems to be a much more, a better approach, especially considering we're not looking at, doing some $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 deal with some sponsor itself. Now, with the existing offerings, as I decided to call them, is we have our Thursday and Friday live streams. The first 2 weeks of every single month, we have talks. We have some type of speakers the first 2 weeks. The mid month is our open discussions. The last is our job readiness and group resume review sessions. That is what we definitely consider like our bread and butter, particularly the Thursday meetings. And that's going to still, of course, always remain the same for those. Let's see. And then also, if you guys didn't know, because of the holiday on the 4th, we're actually going to run it on Friday and Saturday. And especially on Saturday, like we'll probably provide a pretty good recap of whatever happened on Friday. So then ongoing 60 days of GRC, that's this YouTube short series that we've been doing and so forth. The main objective of that is every single day, every weekday, a new short gets published to create more conversation and hopefully more attention towards different various GRC topics. So, and that has shown to be pretty successful so far because, yeah, getting that information out there and sharing those resources. And then, of course, the Discord server, we have multiple different things in the Discord server, including one new one that you guys may have not noticed yet, but you will hear in a moment. You know, asking questions, socializing, just talking about your weekly wins, different perspectives. Like there's all kinds of stuff in there. Definitely want to encourage everybody to leverage that and use that to the fullest. And if I don't know or somebody else doesn't know, then I'm sure between everybody in there, we know who to contact for that. Some of the other miscellaneous things is like the resources page. That's actually a really awesome resource so far. We're going to continue to expand on that and build that out even further. That's like one of our annual expenses that we did go through and do as well. Some of the interesting finds, if you guys are not familiar, we have the GRC Mafia badge every single Thursday, and that gets you access to the Badge Hunters channel on Discord. If you guys show up to the Thursday meeting, you can collect that weekly badge, and then you also get access to what we call golden finds. And so that's for myself, because I go through and study things all the time, but then also anybody else to go through and throw, you know, interesting resources and stuff like that in there as well. Like some of the different audio podcasts or notebook LMs that I've developed, like for my own personal use or otherwise, I've been throwing in there. Or if I just come across something interesting that, you know, doesn't belong necessarily on the resources page, but is useful. We're also still doing some of the quizzes on YouTube. So that's some of the different offerings there as well. So that's like our existing. Now, a couple of the new additions here is if you guys go to our website, we now have a one-on-one program that we're calling Coffee with the Mafia. So let me go ahead and transition over to this. So here's our website right here. So if you guys scroll on down here, you'll see our resources, and then you'll see this section right here, Coffee with the Mafia. You can go through and book this. So let me go ahead and pull this open, and you guys could do this right now. So book one-on-ones with GRC Mafia, assistance with roadmaps, projects, resources, referral, etc. 100% volunteer ran, truly free and no cost, and it always will be. Anti-paywall, the whole 9 yards. So that is embedded in our stuff, and it's 100% free. We don't want you to donate. We don't want you to pay anything. We've instructed the people volunteering not to ask or otherwise whatsoever. You guys can just go through there, go ahead and select your booking and so forth, and you'll be assigned somebody. And one of the biggest things with that is these people are knowledgeable to the extent that, like, hey, if you have a question or otherwise, and they can't answer it, then they'll at least know who to ask or who to refer you to, especially projects or different resources or getting different perspectives and so forth. So the main reason why this came about is because one of the biggest things that was recommended last quarter, we went through and did a survey, and I can't remember directly offhand, but there was about 30 people who responded to that survey. And I would probably say a third of them had mentioned something along the lines of one-on-ones. And there's no other great resources out there for that. So here we go. And I'm sorry about the chat and so forth. I haven't even been paying attention to it. But I will skim back through that and so forth. And there are some stuff getting marked out as well. But yes, like AB says right here, free, free, free. So we do ask that you guys don't abuse the system, of course. but it is there for you to use and share and everything else. There's not a restriction on that. Just keep in mind everyone's volunteer and, respect their time. And then also our AI newsfeed as well. So if you head on over to the Discord server, we added a new role here, and you can go up to the very top of the server and select channels and roles. And then you can also select unlock news feeds. So what that is it'll unlock a new category on the Discord server, because we went through and we have about 160 different feeds across cybersecurity and GRC that get fed into these various channels. And we separated out by articles and blogs, YouTube channels, NIST feeds, and podcasts as well. We definitely want feedback on maybe a resource needs to be removed. Like maybe this particular website shouldn't be in our feeds for some reason. Or if you guys have stuff that you guys think should be added to it. And one of the other things is that you can go through and you can mute, like if you want to just get notified about the YouTube channels or just the podcast or something like that, then you can go ahead and mute that. Like I muted the articles and blogs because honestly, it posts like 200 of them a day. So, and then on top of that, we are also doing audio generation. So if you unlock that role in the updates in audio, I went ahead and posted the first one this morning as well. So every so often, I'm not going to put a guarantee on it, but you can expect regular audio podcasts as well with some of the different highlight videos that stood out to me or other members of the community in particular in short form audio podcast format. Let's see. Yeah, and circling back to the one-on-one coffee with the mafia, that is a big, not only does that add a significant expense, but the main purpose is that we haven't seen anything like that yet. And that's why the feedback is so valuable. That is directly derived from that survey that was conducted, and realizing that that's not something that exists yet. And then we were fortunate enough to have so many people go through and volunteer for that. And that's going to continue to go as well. So if you would like to volunteer for that and be one of the Coffee with the Mafia, then you can also reach out. We're going to continue to grow that out and get as many people in there as we possibly can. So yeah, anti-paywall, freely available resources and so forth first. Welcome to the party, pal, Chris Hilgado. Let's see. I'm going to double check chat real fast before I skip. Cyber Stoic mentions about monsters. Yeah, I mean, monsters life. Cam mentions coffee with the mafia. yeah. Nah. Fedoras are required. Come on. All right. And then, yeah, if you guys have any questions or otherwise, definitely go through, drop that and so forth. And I'm going to go ahead and skim some of that. But those are two of the big things. One of the other things I also wanted to mention, and I mentioned it before, and I'm considering this in addition to, is I've mentioned the fact that we were building on our policies and procedures, our SOPs, our documentation, and we're building out Study GRC's own program because it is a incorporated nonprofit in the state of North Dakota. And especially considering it's literally Study GRC, we should have a program, right? So we are going through with the NIST CSF 2.0, and then we'll bolt on a couple other things like GDPR, CCPA, maybe the privacy framework for the hell of it. But also there's so many different things that go in with that. There's the risk register, there's the policies, there's the third-party risk management, there's the business impact analysis. There's so many different aspects to that. And that's also where I'm considering that as an additional value add there, because anybody can go through and volunteer for that. If you guys want to get, actual experience in CISO Assistant and going through and lining out these policies and tailoring that to the company, going through interviews, whatever, that's something that could actually happen. And another big thing with that too is we are going to, here in the near future, we'll go through and actually submit a form on the Discord server, or we'll announce it on one of the Thursday meetings too. Because also something else we can do is go through and get the ISO documentation. Once we get mapped over to CSF, then we're planning to go through and map over to ISO, and we would definitely like to have, 2 or 3 people to assist with going from CSF and then also mapping with ISO. So, and then that is hands-on right there. New YouTube update. What? Am I missing something, B-dubs? Oh, you guys are talking about crowns. I got an update from YouTube, something about how they were doing something like crowns or gems or something like that. But yeah. Yeah, and you could see Chris H popping up over here, ISO 27001 mention. Yeah, and I hope you guys realize the value add of that, because I hear from a lot of people that they want to get hands-on experience and so forth, and that's literally something where we can give you access to CISO Assistant and so forth. You could work directly with the policies, tailor them out, work with the mapping, everything. And like, I sure as hell don't know everything whatsoever, and I'm figuring it out as I go. But that's one of the biggest advantages of community, is we have people like Chris H and other people in the community to assist us along the way. Like, David B, how the hell is this supposed to work? PBO, how the hell is this supposed to work? So I'm going to drop PBO's thing there too. I don't think I saw PBO in here, did I? PBO out there slacking. Let's see. I don't know, David. Let's see what kind of a discount High Trust will give us. Well, we'll have to figure that out first. Yeah, and like Josh mentioned, so many great things coming up. Not only have we already published these 2 different things, but this is going to be a continued program. So, like, we're just going to be adding additional things on and automating as much as we can moving forward, and looking for more insights on what people are looking for. So, yeah, and AB had no idea about the crowns. Yeah, shout out to PBO. That's actually one of the t-shirts we added to the merch shop too, is shout out to me, inspired by PBO. PBO's taking a nap in the clouds. So then this kind of leads to the call of action. Join the community, drop your questions, drop your resources, look for other perspectives, whether it's in the Study GRC, Simply Cyber, Black Hills, Anti-Siphon, DC 940. Space Tacos also has her audit treasure trove as well. So there's so many different communities surrounding, and a lot more that I probably don't even know about. The KUI Discord as well. So definitely just, find your niche, find your community and everything else, and ask questions, take it to Discord. Don't be afraid to ask. Like, there's so much out there. So, and I've talked to so many different people and never had a bad experience. So, yeah, don't be like, oh, I don't want to sound stupid if I say something or ask this question or whatever. So definitely a good perspective on that. But then also, I also wanted to like shout out some of the other different people, because like Brews and Hacks, Cam, I think even Chris H, and also Luke C3. There's these other creators that are out there too, because that's the other part of it too. So like the spread the word is not just about Study GRC and so forth. This is the industry as a whole. So the main objective here is for a more secure future. So people like Cam, who's going out and doing videos on YouTube about the 853 and AI governance, is spreading the word about that information and getting people to talk about it more and so forth, making, GRC more socially acceptable and so forth. So, and that could be done in multiple different facets. So, and then now I'll go ahead and drop the open stage. If anybody did want to come up, I think we have a couple things marked here. If you guys have any other questions, or you want me to cover something else or go in more depth on a particular thing, just let me know. Let's see. So Cam does say it's crazy awesome and cool how low operating costs seem to be, and yet just bangers of content. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely consider myself a cheap person. So yeah, I don't mind spending money if I get the ROI on it, but yeah. And that's like one of the different things that Priceless Pancakes asked for, is a video about streaming and so forth, because we use Restream, we use Nightbot, we use Discord, I use Riverside for video editing. So there's a lot of different tools that are involved. And so I was going to do like a short breakdown on those different tools and how I kind of use them. But yeah. And that's also where, you know, we're focused on the mission. Like, I don't want to, you know, focus on like, oh, you know, I would love to do this and everything else and for the community, but, you know, we don't have the funds for it kind of thing. And that's why I'm saying, like, anything we add on, like, regardless, it's fine. Like, it's not going to go anywhere, which is why I don't want anybody to feel obligated. So that's one reason why I have like the Nightbot go through and post the whole donation thing and all the time. Oh yeah, and these curtains are more than just purple too. They could be any color I want whenever I want. Let's see here. AB said, we thought about hosting our first Study GRC conference. Let's do that in the DC. Oh no. If, yeah, I don't know if I want to do that in the DC metro area, personally. I mean, that's also the direction we're headed is, I definitely want to go through and, we're building this out as a community itself. So, you know, it's just going to grow from here. Definitely looking for more content suggestions. I think I have like 6 videos on my backlog to develop and publish myself. But like, it's definitely possible to have a conference at some point. Quite frankly, a good majority of the community itself is like down in Texas. So like that would probably be a pretty good spot. But definitely something to, you know, think about in the future. Yeah, and like AB says, Cam's content is great. Yeah, especially his shorts are very smooth. Like, I don't know how he like, he probably spends a ton of time editing his content or otherwise. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to skim the chat here as well. Here, let me... Virtual conference. Well, and see, like, we could do... Well, and see, like, that's also where, like, feedback comes in and so forth, because it's just like the survey that we did last quarter is taking effect now. And so that's also where you get, like, implementation and lining everything up and the whole business side of things. And so, like, the first year would probably be a virtual conference just because of the high cost. So like I've already looked at the software and you can go through some of the different platforms that are made for virtual conferences, you know, that provide you the entire tool set that you need for registration and rooms and video and all of the email reminders and so forth. And I think I saw one before that was like a single event, $1,800 or so, which is 100% within realm. So yeah, virtual conference every Thursday. Well, and so the way that I think of virtual conference is we would have like multiple tracks and we would have, you know, a dozen speakers or more on various topics and so forth. And also like another big thing, like I joined the HIPAA Cow conference that they had a couple months ago. And like in that, they also had like a social gathering track as well. So people could join in there and conversate. Yeah, and Cam says a whole lot of editing. I could only imagine. Oh gosh. Come on, AB. Come on, make it easier for us. Come on. Let's start out simple and work our way up from there. How long does it take to edit videos on average? It really depends. So like the GDPR part 1 video, that came out to about right around 10 minutes and 24 seconds for the final video. When I recorded it, it was about 15 or 16 minutes, but it took me about 2 hours to go through and edit entirely because I also had to re-record it again. So that 10-minute video took me about 2 hours to actually record and edit. So, and it's just going through the video itself, correcting all of the transcriptions for the captions that go on the screen, taking out any of the retakes and so forth, and also lining up the video with the feed and so forth. I try to keep it as simple as possible. But one of the big reasons why we moved away from the live streams 5 days a week is because like the quality aspect. So 3 of the 5 days a week I had to do prep work for and so forth, and it definitely takes a hit on quality. Whereas with the recorded content, we can have a much higher rate of quality. It's just like that GDPR part 1. Like I probably put 18 hours worth of study time into that particular video. So it's way higher value add compared to, you know, oh, it's Sunday night and I have to, you know, get this done by Wednesday. And then also like another example would be like the shorts. So like the 60 days of GRC shorts, I would probably say 1 week would probably take me about an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half to go through and record all 5 days, upload to Riverside, edit each one, download them and schedule it. So about 5 shorts would take me about an hour and 15 roughly. And that's with having the scripts and the resources already ready to go. Let's see. Couldn't we use Zoom or Google Meetings for free? So like Google Meet, I believe has a 300 person cap. We did actually stream from Google Meet at one time. Just the way I think about it with a virtual conference is having, you know, a dozen speakers and multiple tracks and so forth. It's definitely something we could pull off. And like even at that $1,800 price tag for a 1-day event, that's really not all that bad, really. When you include it, includes everything built in. But there's a lot of coordination, there's a lot of scheduling, there's a lot of, you know, project management side that deals with that. And so that's not something we're committing to right now, but I could 100% see that in the future, like maybe early next year kind of thing or something like that. Let's see. And like Cam's excited and so forth. Yeah, I mean, like we're just trying to add value and community and so forth. Like, yeah. So let me, I'm going to drop this stage link one more time here and then I'm going to still stick around. I got to double check chat again too, but I was going to go ahead and turn this back on real fast. So let me know if this audio is too high, but I figured I would go ahead and play it in the background. Let's see. AB mentions one short feedback. The channel article/blogs is wonderful. It rolls too fast for me though. So like the shorts themselves, like I'm talking too quickly, or are you talking about like, because we're publishing one every weekday? Oh gosh, we got David popping in here. Welcome to the party, pal. Oh, maybe we don't. Geez, you're just over here teasing me, David. Welcome to the party, pal, KP.
No, sorry about that. I meant to hit send and I hit the leave button. How fun is that? I was saying gnarly music, bro.
Right? Yeah, let me know if that's too loud on that end. Let's see. All right, so yellow brick road is paved blue. Hey, I never said this was the yellow brick road. This is just automatic AI generation, you know, the path forward.
To me, it looks like a I don't want to say a ditch, so I'll call it a creek. It looks like a creek with a boat at the end. I know that's not a boat, but it looks like a boat from here. And, you know, we're sailing towards it. Maybe it's an island and we're sailing towards the island.
Hey, I like the idea of an island and a beach. Thanks for popping in, Space Tacos. You have a great night. GRC Mafia. Also, Cam mentions that there isn't another community like this. Shout out to you all. That's really where it derived from, is the fact that we couldn't find a community like it before. Just trying to add value and see through the smoke and mirrors and, break down those silos and barriers that are out there that exist. I think one of the biggest challenges is getting people comfortable to do so, because there's so many different awesome people out there and everything. But, people still, may be uncomfortable going through and asking a question because they think it's too basic or otherwise. Like, what I really need to do is like go back through some of my old questions and so forth and show that as examples. Cause there's no stupid questions at all.
Yeah, it could be a creek, same thing. When I saw Cam write that, I thought my brain went instantly to SSO. It's like, what's he talking about single sign-on for right now? What's he doing over there? I'm finishing up a SOC report and just editing, and it's so much fun. This is actually the light of my day right here, joining all you all.
What a suck up. Extra brownie points. And then AB, apparently you mentioned something about too many feeds in the Discord channel. You're more than likely talking about the articles and blogs. That is because it is a very well-populated one. So the one that's going to have the most articles for the newsfeed is going to be articles and blogs. Like what I mentioned earlier is I went through and muted that channel, and then I just go through and skim it every once in a while. So maybe once or twice a day, I'll skim it to see if there's any titles that pop out to me. But yeah, that pretty much covers like that, articles and blogs. I think it's like 160 news feeds or otherwise. So it is quite a bit, but also only maybe half of it is even being pushed to that channel. But yeah, I would definitely recommend to mute that channel and then just check it, on an interval. Oh no.
What happened?
Welcome to the Party Pal, PBO.
There he is. Somebody woke him up.
How y'all doing tonight?
Awesome. Looking forward to your presentation coming up on the 10th.
Yeah, it's funny. I was walking trying to see if y'all were going live, and I was like, oh shit, that's me on the 10th. So it was funny.
Yeah.
Then I saw your text. I was like, oh, okay, no big deal.
Yeah, so if you guys weren't aware, so there was a previous question, I think maybe Cam asked it before, about the 10th. So we had a company reach out and so forth that wanted to present about the ISO 42000, I think it is, for the AI. But unfortunately, we weren't able to get confirmation. So yeah, we ended up throwing PBO up and so forth as a backup for third party, because we also had a person in Discord that was asking about third party. So I figured that'd be perfect. PBO already has like 6 videos on it. Yeah. But we're going to make it very direct, and I'm bringing like half a dozen questions on my own. So
that's cool.
When I grow up, I want to be like PBO.
You don't be like me, man. You'll be like me. Shout out to Cam. I saw his AI hallucination video. I thought he was talking to me personally, so I shared it out to the community. So shout out to Cam.
Yeah, Cam did an awesome job on that AI governance video, and that was a part 1 of 2.
Yep, I saw it, so I shared it. I like your playlist, man. I don't know if this is GRC study specific, man.
Yeah, I figured we would mix things up a little bit and so forth. And that's also where like looking for feedback. Like, did you guys want music? What kind of music you guys could recommend stuff? And everything else too. Like we could change things up and customize it. We were going to move tools to a different product away from Restream. But I kind of backed out of that because like Restream just provides so much customization. So
what was you going to switch to? OBS?
So I already use Riverside for video editing because it does the chapters and so forth, and it makes it really easy to make short content. And so my post production is downloading the video from Restream, uploading it to Riverside, which that alone takes 15 minutes, and then go through and edit, wait for it to export, get the show notes, and so we typically look at like maybe 25 to 35 minutes or so for post-production. So
yeah, I was thinking, have you tried Restream AI Shorts?
So they have a demo for that and so forth. In comparison, for the price, I don't think it's worth it.
Okay. I was thinking about using it. I don't know. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. I took a couple weeks off, so then I gotta figure out. July, I'm gonna come out strong, so I'm gonna just kind
You
of.
don't even know what to do at this point.
I'm kind of glad. So yeah, I went from OBS, but their panel part was horrible. You had to kind of like, so that's why I switched to Restream, and I just kind of stayed there. I thought it was okay. A lot of people, I think Oju does Restream with OBS, so.
Yeah, his personal feed is OBS. And so, like, once we get to the point where, like, I'm doing intro flashy videos and so forth, that would be a benefit for OBS on my end. But we could even do that inside of Restream, too. I was just going to go to Riverside because it would be quicker for post-production. But unfortunately, the studio itself has less functionality compared to Restream. So, and then also, like, we've been running the ultra-low latency on Restream, which has only a like 2 to 3 second delay time. So
You like it?
yes, yeah, Restream has way more features than any other product out there. Like we went through and looked at like 7 of them, and Restream still has the best functionality.
That's kind of why
so far.
Yeah, that's kind of why I went to it, and I'm not using probably just 20% of the stuff they have in there. This makes it, especially when you bring people up on panels. So
yeah,
See,
well, exactly.
I'm just going to learn from y'all, and then I'll learn from all y'all's mistakes, you know, like we should all do in life. And then I'm going to say, okay, so if PBO and Chris both say that's good, then I'm going to go with that.
I'll show you exactly how you can do it and so forth when you present for us.
Facts. But to me, a lot of times you just kind of grow into it. Like I did OBS when I was smaller, but then that once I started doing more panels, I'm like, I gotta find something better. Then I went to Restream.
You guys want to see something interesting? Just go to the Study GRC live stream channel and then sort it by old. Because when we first started streaming, we were using 720p on Zoom, and like when somebody talked, they came up on stage and it was like flip flopping, and it was rough looking back at those.
R squared, I'm already signed up. It's just a matter of choosing my topic.
Yeah. And so in reference to Josh's question here about how long Study GRC has been open for business, so the unofficial study group that formed was like back in November of 2023, and then in February of 24 is when we actually incorporated it as a nonprofit. So by the time from November to February, you know, we already kind of built up a presence a little bit, and then also I saw like the value with that. And also looking back at that time period, like one of the early issues was paywalls and so forth. Like there was no other communities that were anti-paywall, not looking to make a buck and so forth. And so that's the main reason why I incorporated it in February, was to literally line it out in the bylaws that, you know, we can't turn a profit. We can't do this to protect that in the future. Because like maybe I haven't said it publicly, but I don't see myself being the president of Study GRC in 5 years. I want this to be a public entity on its own, where we build up a member base and so forth that votes for the board itself. Now we're shaking his head.
We want you to be the president forever. Shout out to Chris.
No. That's no
Dictator for life.
Facts.
No.
Facts, man.
Yeah, definitely going towards the public entity format there. Let's
There's
see. And then
there's
also
a group I want to introduce you to, Chris. I don't know if it'll be beneficial, but the gentleman, just remind me later. He's out of Great Britain, and he does a lot of good stuff. He does it on a different platform. I can't think of the name of it right now to save my life, but I'll get with you and we'll talk more about it.
Go figure. AB mentions the article. The articles and blogs channel, 15 plus links and resources. I would probably say it probably posts maybe 50 or 70 a day. It is designed that way, and so I just recommend muting that channel out, and then just review it on a regular basis. That's the most busiest channel there, but like we could go through and reduce the amount of articles, but then we're not going to have a very diverse set of articles, is the issue there. So like if we take the 160 feeds and then knock that down to 30, then we're not getting a really good round idea of the industry itself. So like the way I foresee people utilizing that is to skim the channel, look at the titles, and if something pops out to you, check it out, because it's GRC on multiple different levels on governance, risk, and compliance. But then also on top of that, it covers the whole cybersecurity, information security, government, geopolitical. And then I think there was another one here too. Yeah, Chris also mentioned we shouted out PBO loud enough for him to finally come up. Yeah, the TPRM one is going to be a good one. Oh, welcome to the party, pal, Kelly. Yeah, and like it's freaking amazing for this to grow from like a 3-person, 4-person, 5-person unofficial study group just interested in studying the domain of GRC to what we have. Like, it's because everybody's coming together and talking about it and willing to talk about it too. So I mean, I might come up here and argue with David over here, but or PBO about AI and GRC, but that's how we learn and improve, and the different perspectives and resources is awesome too.
Facts.
Cam, he's on Mighty Works. Cam, I don't have his name off top, but InfoSec Live. But I'm not promoting it. He's a very good guy though, and he's been on with Jerry, I believe, one time. He's also been on with David Bombal. Yeah, but just trying to grow the network is what I was getting at, Chris. Right? Might as well go across seas if you can, right? Anybody? I'm sure there are people on here from many parts of the world. Maybe not at this point in time, but who knows, right? I wonder who's the farthest away from North Dakota right now. Anybody know?
So one of the interesting things is, like, I did the GDPR part 1. I'm working on a part 2. I plan on going over CIS2 and then also DORA. And the reason for that is because, that's why I want that call to action on asking questions, putting things in Discord, just communicating with the community at large, across, the industry itself, not just our Discord, but that is a good spot too. Because that's where that really comes in. But we ended up getting like 5 different people who, aren't active in Discord. They just watch our live streams, but they literally reached out and was like, hey, I've been watching your videos for 6 months. I'd love for you to do a video on this. I'm based in the EU, and you guys just talk NIST. And so that's why we're working on some of the EU content, for an example, is because we have at least 5 people who are regularly watching from the EU itself. So, and, same thing like Australia or whatever else, or UK. Let's see. Chris is lost. Oh, come on, B-dubs. My whole focus was the fact that we get feedback about, from people from around the world. So, yeah. Like, David wasn't sure, like, how wide of a reach or, what our presence was in the UK, and I know that it's at least 5 people over there in the EU, but... Well, then what were you talking about, B-dubs? Come up on stage. B-dubs hiding in the background.
Hey, 5 is how many people you have on a basketball court, on one team, so...
Let's see. Yeah, and also, I think AB already dropped, but thanks for joining, AB. GRC Mafia. Let's see. Best party of the week. Yeah, nothing like a weekly meetup just to talk about NIST and risk and so forth. Like I said at the beginning of this video is, everyday friends don't want to talk about NIST or anything. So I had to find people like David and PBO and so forth. Let's see.
NIST, risk, and
I'm just thinking of a shirt for you already.
Yeah, and like the biggest thing is it's a value add from everybody. Like, look at the previous streams. Like, everybody's asking questions, sharing resources, and so forth. Like, it's not just a handful of people.
Your kids
B-Dubs says I force my friends to talk about NIST.
Your kids don't count, B-dubs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that why you don't have friends? Poor B-dubs.
Hey, B-Dubs, when am I getting that return on that boot camp that that I paid for? When am I getting that return?
Yeah, I think I mentioned B-Dubs at the very beginning, but yeah, if you go over to B-Dubs' website, she's got some paid tiers and so forth. $150 a month for some paid mentorship. I saw a screenshot in Discord all about it.
Y'all really want me to come up on stage?
That brought her to the stage.
Yeah, I have my Brexy plan on my memberships. $150 a week, right? That's what it was.
Yeah. But at least you'll help us set up a firm, right? You'll remote access and help us set
I can
up a
help
payment
you.
plan.
Yeah, I can help you set up a firm. Unfortunately, I have a no refund policy, David, so can't get your money back. PBO's out.
A bunch of NIST conversations then.
B-Dub's gonna be booked out every week. I
scared PBO away.
Yeah, and
He's
so
getting his
if
munchie on
anybody
before
else did
his,
want to come up, I did drop this stage link again. PBO over there having dinner.
Also,
So really quick, since we were talking about streaming, is this music coming through Restream as well? Cool.
Correct. So the way that I do it, the best way with what tools we use is so YouTube has the creator's audio.
Put those cookies
So you can
down,
go over-
PBO.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to mute PBO over here. Jeez. So in YouTube Studio, there's an entire audio section where you can go through and sort out free or no license audio tracks, different music and so forth that's been submitted. And then you could download that and you apply that license to the video. So like if you schedule the video, you can add it when you schedule it. Or if you upload a video, you add the license to it. And then in Restream, it allows you to download the audio and then I upload it as media in Restream.
Nice.
So. And I mean, if this is something you guys like at large, there's so much that we could do with it in different areas of music we could do. So PBO's over there vibing to it too.
While he's muted. I do want to be clear though, B-Dubs does have friends outside of my kids and outside of cyber, and I'm forced them to talk about security awareness, and it's really fun actually because a lot of the simple things that I bring up, PBO, poor PBO, a lot of the simple things that I bring up, they're clueless about, and they love hearing me talk about it. So
The only problem I see with that, and maybe you guys have all experienced it, probably everybody on here, the moment you start talking about it, they're like, oh, can you help me with this computer problem? And this and that.
Well, that's when I tell them that I'm not, their IT help desk. They're going to have to call that person. It depends.
Or a weak tier, and they say, no thanks.
Yeah, it depends on what level of friendship we have, so...
That's
I will
right,
not
Chris.
fix your printer,
It's
Chris.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Let's see. If we missed anything, definitely drop it or otherwise too. So
Peace.
you guys are welcome to come up on stage or ask other questions, or if we missed something, drop it again, and we can cover it. Of course, the Discord as well. Definitely want to shout out the new website. We got all of the different resources added to the website directly there. So check that out, including this Coffee with the Mafia. So
Is PBO? Are you on the Coffee with the Mafia?
If Chris needs me, he can always summon me. I haven't been invited currently, but if somebody needs something in my woodhouse, I'm easily found.
yeah, PBO is going to be the tier 2 representative.
Oh, Tier 2.
We're going to run it like a ticket system. So, when David's like, what the hell am I doing? Then David's going to be like, hold on, please hold for 5 minutes. We'll have some elevator music.
And then he pops in, puts the headset on. Okay, how can I help you?
Oh yeah, right. No, PPO gonna be like, I'm gonna throat punch somebody. I was taking a nap.
About half the time.
Yeah, Chris
let's see.
Hidalgo says that he installed Peppermint to have his family submit tickets. I may have to do that.
Oh my
That's
God.
actually.
That's
What a
fun.
nerd.
I mean, I'd rather a ticket than a phone call.
Yeah.
The problem
well,
is
and,
getting them to submit the tickets.
Yeah, like so many different companies are using a service called Intercom, and so like I went on a little deep dive looking into that tool the other day because like Intercom has so many things for help desk and ticket system and customer service. It's pretty neat actually. Like there's a lot of services. Restream uses it, and a couple other different platforms too. So, what was the other one? There was another one. Oh, Fill Out is another one that also uses Intercom too. And so I just started seeing it everywhere. So I was like, what the hell is it? Because I actually had to let it through my ad block in order to even send a ticket. Let's see. Did you have anything else to add, B-Dubs or Rania or PBO or David?
No, I'm just looking forward to trying to help exactly where I can and when I can. I love the community and let's just keep growing it to get more people's opinions and advice. And I learn something new every day. Whether I have to pay for it or not from B-Dubs is a different story, but learn something new. Chris and B-Dubs both got back to me when I needed some help on something, so I appreciate that. And I would have reached out to you, PPO, but I don't think it was in your wheelhouse, so I just let them handle it. So
Works for me, man. Works for me. I like to be tier 2. That works for me, man. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's what I'm going to actually do. I'm going to assign PBO a new badge in the Discord that just says tier 2. Because that's really how I treat PBO is as a tier 2. If I don't know something, the first person I go to is PBO. I'm like, hey, you need to review this or respond to this person or I have no idea. I'm lost. What the hell is ITAR?
Of course, I can't find that in Discord, so he directly DMs. I need you to look at this in Discord. I'm like, okay. That's something now. I've been getting a lot of ITAR questions lately, which is crazy. They've been reaching out to me LinkedIn. I'm like, dude, I'm okay at ITAR, but you have an auditor. I'm like, why are you not asking your auditor? They want to argue with their auditor. I'm like, dude, I don't know if I'm that.
I heard
That's
something.
because that question seems to come up a lot, and every time it does, Chris throws up your YouTube video that you did on it. So they come to you.
I'm like, ITAR? I'm like, my thing is you have an auditor. They like, we think the auditor's wrong. I'm like, dude.
Oh God.
I've argued with auditors, but you got to be at the top of your game to argue with an auditor, man. And half the time it's not worth it. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
So,
are you talking about international traffic and arms regulations?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So if
So
you
mentioned-
if you manufacture ammunition or firearms, explosive devices, that kind of stuff, transport is also included in there. That I remember offhand.
Yeah.
The only time that I heard about that previously is I knew somebody who did ammunition reloading, and they had to follow ITAR because they were doing ammunition reloading.
I think
manufacturing.
this one company, I think it was a small company, and they got audited for ITAR. And since they were small, they were mixing non-ITAR with ITAR. So when I read it, it was like, long as you label it, and long as you kind of separated them. I told him if he could put them in cages or something to separate them. But his auditor didn't like that. So I don't know. So it was just kind of going back and forth. But I've been, not a ton of questions, but I probably get like 10 a month on ITAR, which I think is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and so one reason why I think ITAR is actually getting a little more attention is because I think people are noticing about the whole thing with CMMC getting enforced finally.
Yeah.
And so now these companies are like, oh, now we actually need to. Now we need to take this more serious because what's next is ITAR. Because the DoD is going to be like, hey, this program actually worked. And we made a bunch of money through Cyber AB with it. So we might as well do ITAR.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking
That's kind
like,
of the way I was looking at it. And then also, especially these smaller shops that, haven't been as heavily, enforced. Now they're looking at it and they're being like, well, we already have to do CMMC. And now we're being told we have to also do ITAR. So
that's what it's been smaller. Look, it's been smaller companies asking me ITAR questions about.
that's
Because
scary.
most of them not very big, so they co-mingling ITAR with non-ITAR. So how do you separate
I'm
it?
not very good with the whole movie culture and all that kind of stuff and so forth, but I do remember this one. So whenever somebody talks about ITAR and so forth, I think of the movie War Dogs. That's what I think of.
Nah, that's true. But like I said, I did a little bit of it when I was at DOD, but hell, that's been like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't
we'll
touched
probably,
any of that, but
We were doing NIS with the Stigs. Shout out to the Stigs.
Yeah, I
Hopefully,
think we got all of the questions there and so forth. So I think we can bring this to an end here. We also have our Thursday stream, of course, and then also the Friday and Saturday AMA because of the weekend as well, or the holiday on Friday. Yeah, when you're talking about ITAR and so forth, like War Dogs is definitely like the first thing that comes to my mind. I've probably watched that movie like 3 or 4 times because I love it. It's hilarious. Any final last words, B-dubs?
I mean, I'm just stoked for all the new stuff coming up, the growth. It's a great community. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks.
It's a
Stoked.
great, sales funnel to your paid memberships.
Facts.
Facts.
Shout out to me, right?
Shout out to
PBO,
D-Dub.
final last words. What topic are you streaming on Tuesday?
Today?
he
Nah.
said today.
No. The funny thing is, I was thinking about doing third-party risk management legal. They have security exhibits, DPA that we looked over, data processing agreements. A lot of people are not usually hip to that from third-party risk management, the legal aspects of. But once again, I appreciate to be part of the community. I want to say I kind of pushed it forward when I met Chris. So shout out to me.
PBO's OG.
So yeah, but I'm glad to be here and add my 2 cents in there. Like you say, even though I've been in the game, I learned a lot because obviously this AI is a new world, and I came from a mainframe, so I'm trying to get used to the AI and learning new things. So once again, I appreciate being in the community. So
David B over there is losing whatever game he's
yeah,
playing.
I'm not. No, I'm trying to finish up work. Today's my last day. I'm off tomorrow. I'm off for the rest of the week, and of course I have to do my own QA. We take that serious, so I'm trying to get out of here. I had to stay up late with a sick dog yesterday. I had to take him to an emergency vet, but he was okay. So
I was gonna say he's okay. Okay, shout out to the dog. I love dogs.
yeah, he cost me $400 for eating something he shouldn't have, but you know how that goes. So.
Well, I was married and we didn't have kids. I spent $3,000 in Great Dane dog knees, man. so shout out to my friends too, because my ex used to give my dog chiropractic and acupuncture treatment. So
the funny thing is, I love to live risk, and think about it. And I left the damn bathroom door open, so I failed my own risk assessment.
So did the dog eat soap?
You didn't have proper safeguards.
No, it's I don't want to get feminine hygiene product.
Oh, okay.
Hygiene product.
I'm with you. Yeah, I feel my bad. I shouldn't even ask the question. But
no, it's fine.
I was like,
I'm glad he's okay though. Shout out to the dog. I'm glad he bounced back for $400 and shit.
Yeah, so we stayed up late, and I'm tired, so I'm trying to finish this up. But that's all I got. Thank you so much, community and everybody. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. And you know what? We're gonna build this. We're gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge, Chris. It's gonna be so big.
I'm glad you're gonna push it that far, David.
He's the next Black Hills. The next Black Hills are making.
Oh
With that
gosh.
kind of energy, it will be.
Yeah, we're gonna have a commercial ad with David just like in an open field chugging monsters and everything else. Oh, we're going now.
Let's
Brother,
go.
you wanna get in
this GRC fight? You gotta come
Yeah.
down to study
PBO jumps out of some monster truck. He's like, throat punch.
Oh my gosh.
That's
And we had to
Hey.
put the little bam like from the old comics, from
Yeah,
Batman and stuff.
I
Yeah,
love
You realize
that.
I'm literally gonna sign off of here and go straight to AI video generation for this now, right?
Works for me.
wow, I can't wait for that to be posted.
It's like,
Facts.
yeah, thank you all for joining not only this stream but all of the other ones. Also, if you check out the website too, we have like some of the different featured speakers. Like we've had like over 40 different people present and talk and so forth. It's like right around 40 different individuals. We have all of the different playlists on YouTube. One of the other things that I forgot to mention as well is like if you guys do have that GRC Mafia badge, one of the other things that we're trialing out is different AI applications. We have a plain language and we also have a policy generator as well that we've been trialing out. And the end goal with that has a significant direct cost because it uses the Gemini API for AI itself. But there's so many different tools we can make for that. We did publish that in the Badge Hunters channel itself if you guys want to check that out. But in the future, I mean, probably within this quarter here, the end goal with that is to develop, an entire set of different tools and applications and put it all on a dashboard and then just have some type of daily limits for the community at large. Because like, we're not going to do paywalls or anything like that. So like, that's what we're trying to brainstorm. Like I'm thinking about like putting the direct cost up at the very top, like the daily cost or something like that. And then have all of that available. Yeah, it keeps going in and out, PBO.
Okay, I thought it was me. I'm like, what does that mean?
But yeah, so if you guys have any particular tool ideas, like we're working with like a actual simulation app as well, to where you actually interview AI based on an actual company itself, and then you develop your report and then it grades you on it as well. And so we're doing some pretty complicated stuff with it actually. So that's another thing to look forward to as well. Check out those other apps. Getting feedback on that's just going to make it better. And yeah, that's another addition to look forward to. But yeah, thank you to everybody who joined and you guys coming up on the panel here. And I will catch you guys in Discord and see you guys on Thursday. GRC Mafia.